Hey everyone, so this is quite a fairly big update. I'm going to start by saying that the only way to run it as a game and for a lot of the functionality to work is to play it as a game and not as a preview. The difference is in the editor you can either up here start level on PC or play this level in the editor window. The one that works as a game is this one here that looks like a little monitor with a play icon. So if I click that, and just wait a moment, it should load the game as a game and not as a preview. Okay, so first of all, as you can see, the UI is changed. I've done this so it was much easier to animate and much easier to have the appearance change colour. So I'm using a texture that Jack has made, and I have changed the colour of it for each weapon as well as the GUI. And when I change weapon, there is also a particle effect that plays that kind of represents what that weapon is. So this is chords. As you can see, the UI flickered and changed as if it was loading. The laser beam particle has been changed as well, because a few people were saying it looked a bit like water, so hopefully that doesn't look like water now. Okay, one of the other things I've done is added a pause menu. So as you can see, it's paused and I cannot move or do anything. I can either exit to menu or reset the map. So I've also fixed a few things that people were mentioning, such as the gun going through the wall. It now renders over everything, so it doesn't matter how close you get to an object, it's going to always render above it. So I'm going to exit to menu. And if I go into options, I've actually put all the resolutions that I could think of that are sensible available for the game. So if I select that, it will change it to that. If I select this, it will change it to that. And you've got to click confirm or else it will revert after 10 seconds. The full screen ones do work, but the recording software I'm using won't pick the screen up because it's recording on the desktop. So if anything is over my desktop as a full screen application, it won't pick it up. So just for now, I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to click play. And the maps that were given to me, these should load properly. So if I load train station now, I've just set up a quick enemy spawner. So if I go to, here we are. If I just wait a moment for the waves to spawn. One of the issues I'm going to fix, hopefully next time, is that I'm going to put basically a cap on how much this gun goes up and down. So if you look, it's going up and down a bit too much. It shouldn't be too hard of a fix, I just need to get this build out. So if I just wait for what would normally be the next wave, it should say level cleared, and it should give me the end of game screen. Okay, so there we have it. The end of game screen. So it will give you all the stats and stuff. At the moment I haven't hooked in the variables that it's in UScript currently, but I've set up the GUI for it. I'm going to make it look a bit better, but for now this is what we have. So I'm also going to have the game paused as well for this, so the gun won't be moving and you won't be able to move around. So we can either retry or finish. Now this is the same screen that appears when you die, but for some reason when you die, if you try and retry or go back to the main menu, it will crash. I don't know why, it's just one of those bugs that I've been trying to fix before I put the build out, but we need to have this build up and running, so just to prove it works. So here we are back at the start.
Harmony systems online.
And the enemies will spawn again. So if I just go back to main menu.
Welcome to Chordes.
So we have a game that functionally can load level, come back, and do all that sort of thing, all that sort of stuff. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to, for the benefit of the designers, show you how to basically set up the enemies spawning and stuff, purely so that I don't have to keep doing it every time there's a new map available. If I go to, let's do it on the skyscraper. So I've added a player start, so we should start here. Okay, so if we go into the content browser, and we, actually first of all, if we go into view, world properties, and then select Chordes game info, there should only really be Chordes menu info and Chordes game info. There shouldn't be duplicates of this item. If there is, you've done something wrong. So if I go to search enemy, and I put an enemy spawn node just here for now, just lift it up a bit, naturally the spawn node will spawn in a radius given here. So if I say 200, and then they also will spawn above the node for now to prevent them from being spawned inside of each other. This will be a method that's cleaned up a bit later on, but just for now it works. So I'm going to just say 5 of the ranged kamikaze enemies. These names can be changed, but these were what I was given basically. These are just the face bots for now. We've also got the boss versions as well. So 1 pertains to wave 1, 2 pertains to wave 2, etc. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we can tell the wave spawner when to end the map at. So we want it to end at wave 2 because there's nothing at wave 2. Okay, so if I play from here as a preview, all of this will work, but the menu, the pause menu and the end of screen won't work. It's just the way UDK works. It doesn't allow those the console commands to load levels and such to be played while in the preview mode. But just to prove that the way I've set, oh actually, there's one other thing I need to do to make the enemies function. They rely on pylons to create a nav mesh in order for them to know where they can move. So if we go to add actor, add pylon, and make sure it's grounded. These things are pretty clever, so they can generate a mesh depending on its environment. But if you get this kind of situation where it's got a cross through it and it's linking to another one, that means it doesn't need to be placed here, because that one's got it covered basically. But if I put it all the way down here, where there are objects in the way, it's going to like being there. So I'm just going to put a few. They don't need to go throughout the entire level, just it's about distance, I think. Just going to make it so they can move quite away in the level. Okay, well we don't actually need that one, especially not for just this quick test. So if I play from here, having set up the game info and the pylon, oh actually we need to rebuild, don't we? Let's quickly rebuild paths. the rhythm game has been made easier as well, just slightly, so it's a bit more acceptable, and the keys for bass rhythm, bass, chord, and digital are the keys are F and C, as opposed to up arrow, left arrow, and right arrow. I will demonstrate it once this is built. It does take a while sometimes. The idea behind the new UI was to kind of have windows that glitch and because as if the AI is kind of damaged in the helmet. So if you notice, the windows, the modules actually flicker like
Harmony systems online.
from the colour it is to white, and it kind of jitters a bit. You might be able to see it against the bright BSP. If I move to a darker area, it's much more obvious. But as you can see, which I was hoping would happen, it sometimes bugs, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to have this build out yet, because I've been trying to fix things like that. But if you just change weapon, it should fix it. As you get less and less health, the more the UI will flicker and bug. Now the enemies are being a bit stupid because we haven't put enough pylons, so there isn't an intelligent enough nav mesh being generated. But if I just kill these, where's that other guy gone? There he is.
All hostiles in the area terminated.
Just to prove that the way I've set it up works.
Enemies inbound.
There we go. So these buttons don't work because we're in preview mode. But anyway, that's a lot of what has changed in the build. There are quite a lot of bug fixes and glitches and just subtle things that I'm not going to bother mentioning just because I'll be here all day. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you know how to set this up. Cheers.